Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video we are going to do predictions for ATEEZ for their 2025. In the description below I will have the timestamps as well as the questions that we're going to answer in this video. And with all of that said, let's just jump into the group's current energy and figure out what is ATEEZ current energy? How are they doing right now? You have the Ace of Wands upright, the Nine of Wands upright, the Ace of Swords upright, and then the Ten of Cups reversed. So this is a pretty good start. Like half of the cards are extremely positive and the other half are kind of like a little bit concerning. Nothing horrible though. So let's start from the left to right. So the Ace of Wands usually talks about, well, the aces usually talk about new beginnings. There's 4 aces in the tarot deck, and this new beginning seems to be one filled with action. So the Ace of Wands usually talks about someone that is inspired, someone that's motivated, and it's almost like the universe, or if this like their spiritual team as a group, is kind of encouraging them to take action, encouraging them to move forward, encouraging them to finally make a decision to put into action whatever they want to do, whatever goal they have. There might be a chance that either the group has an idea of what they want to do, and now the universe is kind of giving them the green light of like, now it's a good time to execute that plan. And if it's not that, it could also be that now the group has like an idea, or they have gotten the inspiration, or maybe even the motivation and the drive necessary to start on a new journey. Which, I mean, having the aces as the energy right now that we're talking about the beginning of the year, I guess is very fitting, because that just shows that right now they're extremely prepared and super ready to start the new year with like new ideas, new energy, and a new vibe. So these Ace of Wands is talking about the action. Now we talk about the Ace of Swords, now we're talking about their ideas, their thoughts, their communication. Sometimes the Ace of Swords can be seen as having a direct connection or a direct channel of communication with the universe, or with their spiritual team, or something, or even their higher self, or something along those lines. So for the group currently, it seems like they all have very good communication with each other. They all have a very clear mind, and that clarity that they have gives them the ability to make educated decisions. That's how it came up. But to not be reckless, to not be impulsive. So the actions that they're taking this year is one that has been well thought of, and is like they had a strategy on how they were going to start the year, or right now they're planning, and now they have the right plan, or they're all on the same page, and now they know what the strategy for a successful 2025 is for them, and now they're working on it. Now I'm saying that because the Ace of Swords could talk about someone that has very good judgment, since it's sword energy, and this just shows that they have clarity, they have good communication, and since it's the beginning of something new, it shows a sense of this pure energy that hasn't been tainted by fear, pain, or disappointment. So it's still very new, still very good, and it's more like of this super flexible energy that is being introduced into the group. So currently the group has a very promising year, because right now their energy is filled with expectation. It is filled with this renewed, fresh energy that is ready for the new year. It is ready for a new beginning and a new chapter. Now the other cards are a bit more of like a little bit concerning, is the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands talks about someone that is hesitating to complete a cycle in their life, where they are struggling to complete something because they have gone through a painful experience, they have gone through a rough or a tough time, and because of that they have their guard up, they're a bit defensive, and they may hesitate a little bit when taking action because of that past pain. But the encouraging message with the Nine of Wands is that it talks about someone that despite their fear, despite their troubles, and despite past mistakes, they're able to kind of just overcome that by having courage to move forward and having the courage to not give up. So it is, the Nine of Wands does talk about a painful experience, and because of that, it creates this energy of someone that is very cautious, and someone that is hesitant, but that hesitation is not one that puts resistance and kind of stagnates someone. It is more about the energy of a person that is very careful with their actions because they want to make sure that they don't get hurt again. And the reason why I'm saying that this card is not super concerning despite not having a super positive message is that it's between two aces. So that just shows that one of the things that the group is hesitating is getting too ahead of themselves or having their expectations go out of the roof and nothing is concrete and nothing is quite set in stone. So these two cards just shows that there's a very promising new beginning, and the Nine of Wands is just saying that the group is trying to not get their hopes up and trying to not, is it called jump the gun? The whole idea of like not getting too excited and just jumping into something that maybe will not give into fruition to something that they were actually expecting, right? So they're trying to avoid disappointment. They're trying to make sure that they are not too much in their head and they can actually just stay a bit more grounded. Now the last card that we have right here is the the Ten of Cups reversed. So the Ten of Cups is a very positive card. It talks about a dream come true in the sense of like a wish fulfillment. It talks about happiness, love, emotional fulfillment, and it is also the end of a cycle. The Ten of Cups could also be talking about a happily ever after. And in their case, the card being reversed just shows that one of the reasons why the group is trying to stay worried and is trying to not get their hopes up is because of this Ten of Cups. The group wants something that emotionally satisfies them. They want to make sure that they celebrate at the end of the journey rather than getting their hopes up so early on. They want to make sure that they don't discourage themselves if their plan doesn't go according to how they had organized it, and instead they want to just live through their journey and then celebrate at the end when they have accomplished things. So this Ten of Cups doesn't feel too bad. It just makes me think that one of the reasons that they are so hesitant and so cautious is just to make sure that they don't get hung up if things don't work out or if things start looking a bit difficult and challenging along their journey. If anything, I think they are very emotionally invested in the goals or the plan that they have for this year, and that's why currently they're trying to make sure that they don't hype themselves up a little bit too much, because then it could create unrealistic expectations for what they are working on at the moment. And the Ten of Cups reverse could also mean that at this current energy that the group has, they have not had the emotional fulfillment that they were aiming for because they already planned the journey for this year, and they are already noticing that they have a long journey ahead of them. So if anything, it almost feels like this Ten of Cups is put under lock and key, in the sense of like, we will embody this energy when we achieve what we have aimed for this year. Now let's go on to the second question, which is the group prediction. So what is in store for ATEEZ's career this year, this 2025? So we have luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius, and then we have full moon in Aquarius with show the world the real you. So a new moon is talking about a new beginning, a new chapter in their lives, and a full moon talks about this energy that has accumulated to a certain point. It's like peak energy. It's something that has been building up for a very long time, and now it's like ready and perfect to use. So this new one in Sagittarius, it just shows that for this year, their career is gonna be filled with a lot of blessings, a lot of good luck, a lot of things just kind of going their way. It seems like there's a lot of things that play with destiny and fate. So there's going to be a lot of times that if the group asks for something, that they would just get it. There is this idea of manifesting instantly. So if any of them are like, oh, I wish we had this and that, they're going to notice very quickly or sooner than they had expected that they will be able to accomplish those things or receive the resources necessary for what it is that they're asking for or whatever goal they're working towards. This Sagittarius energy usually makes me think of someone that has long-term goals or someone that's taking on a very big challenge, because Sagittarius is a type of energy that is not afraid of just taking on a challenge. Sagittarius is very adventurous, and it's usually a sign that is very optimistic, And that could also be because Jupiter is its ruling planet, and Jupiter is a planet of abundance, a planet of good fortune. It is usually seen as very good luck as well because of this very expansive energy. So for the group this year in their career, it seems like they're going to have the odds in their favor. Things are going to turn out very well for them, or at least energy wise, everything is pretty positive for them. Now, with a full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. It seems like one of the things that will benefit them a lot this year is just to continue doing what they're doing, in the sense of, like, yes, continue growing, continue expanding, but it will benefit the group a lot if they continue going for their own sound, going for their own concept, following their own goals, their own dreams. Instead of following trend, is like, let's make that trend. Now, Aquarius energy is usually one that can be a bit rebellious, one that likes to break free from labels, breaking free from bots or from any established rule or established way of thinking. Aquarius is pretty innovative. It is very unique and quirky, and Aquarius energy is also one that likes to embody who they are and disregard any other person's and other people's opinions of, like, they don't like to be influenced by others, and they like to just kind of do their own thing. And Aquarius energy could also be a bit strange in the sense of they like to try new things without minding what other people think. So sometimes they can seem like a bit off to others, but at the end of the day, Aquarius is just living their best life, doing what they love to do, and just being themselves. And that is the energy that the group will be embodying, or if they do, they will succeed a lot this year if they just continue doing what they're doing. There might be times that they may go for a concept or for an idea that other people don't really have faith in, but since they do it with so much happiness, so much joy, and they're just very content as they're working, it will bring a lot of positivity that will make others go like, yeah, I don't know about that sound, but they're performing it in such a way that it hypes me up, it makes me happy. So all I'm saying is that their optimism and their happiness is going to be very contagious. So if they just stay loyal to their ideas, to who they are and what they want to do, they will succeed, even if it's not super appealing to others at first glance. So now let's go into the individual career predictions, and I will go with our captain, and then we'll go in each order. So what is in store for Hongyung's career this year? Oh my god. So we have conflict and goal. So this is actually very positive. So for the individual aspect of his career, it feels like he will have to fight a lot to push certain ideas or certain goals to come through this year. So as the leader, I guess it makes sense that he may have, especially what we saw earlier for the group predictions, is like, if the group wants to take a risk and do a different concept or a different sound, as the leader, he will be the one that will have to push through that idea to the company and kind of sell it to them and be like, okay, so I understand that maybe this is not trending, or like people have never seen something like this, but like, we want to try it out, we want to take that risk, we want to see if it works. And I think that is something that he may have to kind of discuss a lot, argue a lot, and fight for in order to make it happen, to make it see the light of day, if you want to put it that way. So the conflict seems very positive in my mind because of the gold card right next to it. It almost feels like he's, you know what I'm getting as well? Like, he's not actually fighting people. He's just having to strongly express his opinion and his idea in order to push it through and make it a reality. But the other thing that I'm seeing here is like, seeing how I place the cards and how both figures here are facing towards the right, or like towards the future, if you want to put it that way. It almost feels like he may even have to have this internal conflict where he is arguing with himself in the sense of, okay, these are the ideas that I have. How are we going to execute this? And he's thinking, organizing, planning, and then figuring out, will it actually work? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm taking it back to the Nine of Wands of someone that is very hesitant to move forward. So I don't think he is going to be hesitating as much as I'm thinking that he will be very cautious with his approach and making sure that if he's going to push for an idea, it is one that he can definitely get behind and one that he truly believes is going to do well. So he's not going to just be arguing for the sake of arguing. He's not going to create conflict unnecessarily. It's going to be like he truly believes in what he's preaching. He truly believes in what he is talking about and what he is trying to create, and therefore he will achieve his goals regardless of how far or how long term these goals are. He will achieve them because he's just working towards making them into a real thing. Now let's go on to the next person. That was so quick. We have so many cards. Okay, so for someone's career, we have relaxation, triumph, vow, riot, and commitment. Like, I'll put them like this and then we'll push them back to make room for everybody else. So this year for his career, he's going to have a very easy breezy year with a relaxation. It's like he's going to take care of himself, his mind, his heart, his body. So he will physically rest enough. Mentally, he will make sure that he's in the best of moods and not stressing unnecessarily. He's going to take care of himself, and that self-love and self-care shows that he will be very successful this year, and he will go overcome any challenge, because every time I see a mountain in tarot or just in any deck that I use at this point, I just see it as like a challenge that is being presented. And then if you see someone on top of the mountain, you'll be like, oh, they accomplished their goal, they're overreached their goal, right? So with him this year, it just shows that in his career he's going to be very successful and he's not going to stress too much about it. And with a vow is like whatever goals or aspirations or promises he has made himself for this year, so his New Year's resolutions, put it that way, he will accomplish them, he will see through to them, and he will constantly remind himself of what that is. If anything, I feel that this right card that we have right here shows that he might be of the few people that is consciously doing manifestation work. So maybe he searches up in the internet ways to manifest, maybe he's searching up prayers or words of affirmation, or maybe he's journaling, or like he's doing something that is pretty common in the spiritual community to manifest and or to create something. And I think he's fully aware of it. Like, it makes me think like maybe he's searching up ways to make your dreams come true or ways to make your dreams a reality, and he's just going through like that process and those steps to make it a reality. You know what I'm getting? Like, I think I once read that one of the things that some people do is like sometimes they write their goals and then they bury them in a plant or like in the ground as a way of like making those ideas or those goals like set roots for it to become a reality, something like that. He may be doing that or practicing that. Lastly, with a commitment card, it makes me think that he is mentally prepared to work hard for his goals and make them a reality, and he is committed. He's ready to persevere and work hard and do the work necessary to make those dreams a reality. If anything, the commitment card also makes me think that if he feels like he has to fight destiny and fate to make things a reality, he will do so if it ever comes down to it. Meaning that if he ever is going along his journey within his career and all of a sudden it feels like just nothing is working, like, oh, his technology is failing, or transportation is starting to become a lot more challenging than it has to, or like everything is like upside down and nothing is working the way that it was expected or that it usually does, he will still fight through and power through and make sure that he is still moving forward to accomplish his goals and his dreams. So this year he's going to be successful because he's just not giving up. He's practicing different forms of manifestation, and he's going to he will not take on unnecessary stress, which will make it easier for him to just concentrate on what he has to do. Okay, now let's go on to the next person. It's Juno. or is it Yoonho? So what is in store for Yoonho's career this 2025? So we have profession and evidence. So the profession card just makes me think that this year he's going to be very busy. He's going to have a lot of schedules, a lot of things that he wants to do, a lot of things that he has to do. He's going to either do a bunch of things to perfect the skill or to master something, or if he's working on a project, there's a lot of little pieces that he has to do, so he will do all of them to in order to complete it. The profession card, seeing how like it's this chef with a bunch of hands showing all the things that he has to do, it just makes me think that he will be multitasking. So maybe he's doing a bunch of schedule at once, or if there is one specific project, there's a lot of little pieces that he's working on to make it a reality or to make it happen. And this evidence just makes me think that he may be very involved in the behind the scenes, as well as like the things that actually gets shown to the public. So what I mean is like, let's say that behind the scenes he's doing research for the concept, or doing research on a specific dance move that could look good for their concept or what the group is doing. Or maybe individually, if he has a show or something, he's doing the research behind the scenes of like activities and things that will make the show a lot more entertaining and a lot more fun. So this evidence card just makes me think that this 2025 he's going to be doing a lot of research in order to have like the knowledge necessary or the data necessary to push his agenda forward, to promote his ideas, or to like reassure investors or the company that his way of doing things or his plan will be successful. And it definitely feels like he has a lot of things that he's focusing on. So doing the research, and then preparing for the project, and then doing the actual project, and then showing it and promoting that project. So either he might be very involved with the creation of the group's concepts, or he will just be doing a lot of things for himself. And like if he has his own show, that he will get very involved with it, with every little step of the whole process. So yeah, he's going to just be very involved and very busy this year. So now let's go on to the next person and figure out what's in store for Yo-san's career this year. Okay, we have aid, collaboration, and merit making. So this year it feels like he's going to not really have solo stuff, and he will always be with someone that he knows or someone that he feels safe with. So the aid card makes me think that this year in his career he doesn't really want to work solo. He doesn't really want to do things on his own. Maybe he's having a bit of a rough time, or he just wants to stick to people that he trusts. Now I'm saying that because we have the collaboration card, so that shows that he wants to be surrounded by people that he feels supported by. He wants to just focus on the group activities. Like, that doesn't mean that this year he's not going to have solo stuff. It just means that even when he's on his own, he will prefer to just be with the group, or he will prefer to be with someone within the group. Or like, let's say that he is hanging out with somebody else from the 99 line that is not from the group, then he will prefer that. Like, if he has friends outside of ATEEZ, he will prefer to work with them rather than just being on his own this year. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't know if he's having a rough time this year, or he's just someone that prefers to be surrounded by people that he knows, or just be surrounded by people in general. So this collaboration and this aid is that this year he just wants to be a good support to others and be supported by others. Like, he doesn't really want to be on his own. And the merit making, it just makes me think that one of the things that's going to shine through, or one of the things that he will see very present this 2025 within his career, is that he's going to be helping a lot of people. Something about repaying back the support that others have given him, or maybe he just feels like it's his calling to help and provide support for others. Like, maybe that's where he feels the most comfortable, being like a supporting role for the people that he cares about, or just for people that he's working with. And maybe he just likes to be of service to others and just be like, okay, how can I help you out? What do you need help with? Or like, do you need someone to listen to your ideas? Then he'll make himself present. I was gonna say he will make himself useful. So maybe he just wants to do stuff where he feels like he is doing something for somebody else, like he is helping out. Anyway, next person. So what is in store for Sam's career this 2025? So we have memory. So this 2025 for Sun, it seems like he's just going to be in a very nostalgic mood. The memory card just makes me think that he's going to be just thinking back, like, oh, this is how far we've gone, our journey. So he's gonna be in a very melancholy type of energy. Melancholy, I think that's how you say it. He's gonna be in this energy where he's nostalgic, just thinking back about all the good things that happened, all the challenging things, all the hardships, and just being very grateful, very happy. The memory card makes me think of like a family album, so maybe he's going to be hanging out with family and be very happy about that. Or he may even share it to the fans, like, this is some of like the stories that my personal stories with my family and my journey and like the people I care about. Or if not, he may, if we take this a bit literally, I'm saying this because I never really talk about that with this memory card when it pops up, but for him it did. This whole idea that maybe one of the things that he will do is that he will compile a bunch of pictures to celebrate the whole journey that the group has had together and then share that with the fans. Like, this is my growth, this is the growth of the group, this is how time has passed, how things have changed. And I think he will kind of like emphasize that this year, and just, you know, he's thinking back, but it's not like he's reminiscing, and he's thinking back in a pretty positive way, but he wants to just see the growth that the group has had. And in his career, this is going to be highlighted, maybe because that will help him not only reflect and continue growing this year, but also it is just something, a way of him being grateful for the growth that the group has had, which, I mean, that's a very good thing to do. That, or maybe he's gonna have a lot of photo shoots this year, who knows. But now on to the next person. So what is in store for Minji's career this year? We have protest. So remember how for Hongyung we got this whole idea of like he will have to fight for his ideas to become a reality. Like, I want to do something different, he has to push and fight for it. Well, Minji might be another member that will be right there with him, be like, okay, I'll be right there with you to try to convince people, I will back you up, I will argue and fight to help you and support you through your whole journey and your whole idea. So he may, with a protest card, it's like if he thinks something is not fair, he will advocate for it, he will speak up, he will talk about it, he will try to change things, he will definitely speak his truth, he will definitely talk about his point of view, and he will try to make sure to clear up any misunderstanding that rises during this year. So this protest card just shows that in 2025 his year is going to be not filled with conflict, but I do feel that there may be a major issue that he will be very outspoken about, or throughout the whole year, one of the things that is going to stand out to him is like how he feels like he has to continuously put his point across and fight for his idea, or fight for his opinion, or just fight for justice or something along those lines. Now for the next person we have Woonjung. So what is in store for Woonjung's career this 2025? So we have good news. Give me a second. Robbery, saving, and live and learn. So the robbery card just makes me think that maybe he's going to miss out on some opportunities, and the reason why this could be is because of divine detours. Like, those times where things don't work out and it's for a reason, it's like maybe there's something better out there for him, or maybe instead of working he should be resting. So in this 2025 within his career, there's a lot of positive energy coming through, and even when things don't work out, he will not feel too discouraged about it. Like, doesn't mean he's gonna be happy about it, but he's going to at least try to see it from a positive outlook and be like, okay, look, I'm not pressed for money, So if that opportunity didn't go through, that's perfectly fine. And he would just try to learn from those hardships, from those experiences, because the live and learn just makes me think of going through the journey, and good or bad, it doesn't matter. It is all part of a growing and learning experience. So that makes me think that he's not going to be discouraged if things don't work out his way or if things don't go as planned. Again, doesn't mean he's going to be happy about it and he's going to take everything with a smile. It just means that he will take a deep breath and reflect on the situations, good or bad, and then just learn from those experiences. Just be like, okay, what worked, what didn't work, why did this opportunity fall through, or why did this opportunity work. Like, he's going to look at all of those things to figure out what works for him and what he can do to continue improving and developing as an individual. So the good news just tells me that his money and his finances are going to be fine this year. If anything, he may be a little bit annoyed with opportunities not flourishing or not seeing the data of light, or like things just not working out as planned, but he's going to just take that as a learning experience rather than dwell and just kind of sulk at the fact that it didn't work. He will just try to like pick himself right back up and be like, okay, so what did we learn from this? Like, what was the experience? Why did I have to go through this? And just kind of do that in order to get rid of any negativity and just maintain himself in a positive mindset, which will definitely help him just continue growing as a person this year rather than staying stagnant just because things are not working out. Now to the last person. So what is in store for Youngho's career this 2025? Oh, I guess there's a lot, but they all seem positive. So we have endorsement, idea, origin, family, and perseverance. So there's a lot going on this year for him, but they all seem so positive. So the endorsement just makes me think of someone that is like sweet talking their way through things. So this year he may okay, bringing it back. So remember how for Hong Young and Mingji we got this whole idea of like, let me fight to make an idea of reality. Like, maybe I need to convince the company, I need to make sure that we can go through with this concept or this idea or this action or whatever. Well, Jongho is the type of person that will do the same thing, but he's not going to have an aggressive approach to it. So the way that I'm seeing it is that, for example, Honjung does it in a very assertive way that can be a bit intimidating when he's expressing his ideas and his reasoning behind it. With Mingi, it seems like he's going to be more in this energy that seems a bit more confrontational and even a little bit like trying to guilt trip whoever he's trying to convince, like, oh, you know, we've been doing all of these things and it usually works out, so that you not trust us anymore, like, you know, guilt tripping them a little bit. But for Jongho, it seems like he's more of an energy of like, let me convince you, you know? It's like, you know, he kind of sounds like the type of person that when he's trying to pitch in an idea, he's going to make it sound like it was that person's idea. Or he will start by complimenting them before he actually goes to like the meat or like the true reasoning behind his discussions. Like, he's going to try to slowly present the idea in a super favorable way, paint this beautiful picture so like that whoever he's trying to convince just agrees to his idea or something like that. But yeah, we have idea, origin, family, and perseverance. So he's going to work very hard, and he is someone that sticks to his roots, meaning that he cares and loves about his family, anyone within his close circles, he cares about them. He is someone that it is filled with a lot of inspiration, so he will fight for his ideas to go through. And he is someone that will also try to help out the people that he cares about. So this year he is going, if his group, as we saw earlier, wants to try something new, be themselves, be unique, he's going to be one of the key individuals that will push through to convince the people necessary for these ideas to come through. So if it's like, okay, you need me to convince the rest of the members that this idea is going to work out, easy, I'll make it happen. Or if it's like, okay, we need to convince the CEO to give us the money and the resources to make this idea a reality, don't worry, just give me some time to think about it, no, okay, not think about it as like getting convinced, but think about it as in like how he will convince other people, and it's like, and then he'll do it. So I don't know, maybe he's very good with his words, or maybe he's someone that is very trustworthy and reliable, or just he's a very sweet talker. So when he says things and presents it to other people, it doesn't seem aggressive, it doesn't seem bad. It just goes like, okay, I'll actually listen to you, I'll follow through your reasoning, or something like that. So all of this cards just shows that he is very grounded, and he is very good at painting a beautiful picture, but with a very practical and realistic point of view. So even if he's trying to sell out this idea, it doesn't come off as unrealistic. It does come off from a place of like, oh, I see where you're coming from, and we can definitely make that work. We can definitely make that happen. So he might be very good at negotiating as well. So in his career, we're going to see how he really cares about the people that he cares about, and we're going to see how noticeable it is that his close circle, like who is within his close circle, who it is that he cares about, because he's going to kind of do something that will make people go like, oh, he wouldn't do that just for anyone, and he will just continue fighting for things to come through, and for his dreams and for the group's dreams to come true. And again, he's a very sweet talker, so if there's anyone he needs to convince, this year is going to be a good one for him. Now, to finish off and wrap up this video, let's take out any advice or healing messages that have to come through for ATEEZ for this year. Advice and healing. Any. So we have new moon eclipse with expect powerful change, and we have disseminating moon with take time to breathe out. And I want to see what's on the bottom of the deck, which is void of course moon with nothing will come of this situation. So the advice for the group is, if something doesn't work out, they don't have to push it. It seems like anything that is meant for them will easily come their way. But it also makes me think that if they practice, if they connect to their intuition, to the third eye, and all of that, they will have the clarity to know what to fight for and what to back down from. And they will also have the idea or the skill to be able to figure out or discern what they should fight for and what they shouldn't, as I said earlier, but also to discern if something didn't work out because they need to continue fighting for it, or if it's not meant for them, so they should probably just walk away. I think one of the people that might be very good at figuring that out will be someone like Woon Young, because he kind of got this whole idea of like, he is aware of divine intervention. He is a bit more aware if something doesn't work out, when to take a step back and when to push forward. So he might be someone that will be very good at figuring those things out for the group. But anyway, with that nothing will come of the situation, just makes me think of things that go out of the beaten path, going out of planning or schedule. So that makes me think of maybe breaking boundaries, breaking conventions, stereotypes. So kind of like going down your own path, not what others have done. And it also makes me think that, which I mean, that advice is very fitting since they got the whole idea of like, show the world the real you, the whole idea of just be unique, be yourself, and you will succeed. And the other thing with so nothing will come of the situation makes me think divine intervention, and it makes me think of just doing things differently and not following trends, not sticking to what's normal, to what's standard, to what's expected. And it's just like sometimes go a little bit wild, go a little bit crazy. And yes. Now the other cards. So we have new moon eclipse with a powerful change. It definitely feels like 2025 could be the year for the group, especially if they want to try something new. If we don't see success with the new things that they're trying, we're going to see them actually setting a very strong foundation for those things to like take off in the near future. Just that I would like to clarify that it's relative what near future means to someone. To me, the near future will be like, if it's not this year, it will be next year. But honestly, seeing the bigger picture, I don't know what's in store for the group, so it might take longer than that, or it might take a bit for things to build up to the true, to its true form, if you want to put it that way. I do think it's gonna be within 1 or 2 years, but I don't know how big of a change or how big of a concept or how big of an impact they're doing things differently is going to be. It could also be of those things that is like they're constantly trying to do something different, so they're constantly changing, transforming, and it's going to be a very constant thing, that's why it will take years, not necessarily like to see results, but just to fully complete their mission as trendsetters were the words that came up. Anyway, the other thing is take time to breathe out. It definitely feels like one of the things that came up was to make sure that the group, when they're expressing their ideas, that they don't get too heated or too aggressive with their approach. It's like, okay, they may clash heads with other people or even within the group and be like, okay, so is this a good idea, is this not a good idea? And those disagreements could reach heights of stopping to, like, people don't listen to each other anymore, and at this point it's just a fight of egos. So that could happen to the group. But if they take a time to like recollect their ideas and to take a step back from like these arguments filled with passion and filled with trying to be innovative, trying to be different, and trying to understand each other, like if they take a step back to recollect themselves, it will benefit the group a lot. So kind of like not being like, be aggressive in the sense of like try to fight for what you believe in, but not necessarily in a way that creates a very disorderly environment. It's like you don't want to hurt each other's feelings. You just want to make sure that you express your idea and not back down from what you believe in, but not at the cost of a friendship, right? Or at the cost of disrupting the harmony within the environment they're in. So yeah, take time to breathe out. It just makes me think. Don't argue for the sake of arguing, and try to actually listen and be understanding of each other. But the other thing is like, don't overwork yourself, which I do feel that it's very obvious, and that is something that ATEEZ as a group that is working very hard, very consistently, is like, okay, make sure that you do take some time to like take a breather and to relax. Those moments will definitely help them to continue transforming and changing. They don't have to actively get things done in order for their manifestations to become real. Sometimes it's okay to take a break and rest, to kind of like recharge and clear their mind, to be able to be a bit more effective with their work after their break, rather than just constantly working to the point of just exhaustion. So yeah, that's it for the group. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There was a lot of positivity for the group. I find it just slightly funny that there's a lot of like, okay, let me argue, let me fight for this idea, because it doesn't seem too serious, or at least the way that they do it just comes off as a little bit funny energy wise. I don't know how bad their arguments could get as a group, right? Or how passionate they can be, or how stubborn they might be. There is a stubborn card in the Pantha Oracle, but we didn't get it, so that means that they will listen to each other and they will try to communicate properly, especially because we have the Ace of Swords. Is like, there's good communication within the group. So if anything, I do feel that there might be some petty arguments that come through when everyone actually gets very like on their high horse, or gets on when everyone becomes a mule and is like, okay, no, I'm not budging from my idea, mine is better, or something along those lines. But I do feel that it's still all in good fun. I don't think it's going to actually cause any drifts or actual serious arguments with each other. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's hope that I hope that the group has a very good year and that they give us some good music. I've been enjoying their latest releases, so I just hope that they continue that way. See you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you for all the love and support you have shown me in the channel, and continue showing your support and love for ATEEZ as well. I will continue with the individual predictions, so look out for that throughout this year. Hopefully I can continue working this year a bit more consistently than last one. Anyway, love and healing from my part to you, and